It could be as simple as her very uncelebrity lack of airs and graces, but there's something Australians find very endearing about superstar Pink. She's almost one of us. What you see is exactly what you get. She's ferociously frank, has a wonderful sense of humour, and to top it off, is an amazing and incredibly brave performer. And there's one other thing. She loves us as much as we love her. California's Santa Ynez Valley is a magical place of stunning vistas, soaring mountains, and a laid-back rustic vibe. This spectacular slice of country is where, in her downtime, you'll find Alicia Moore, better known as Pink.
So for 5 years, this was my dirty little secret.
A refreshingly down-to-earth superstar who's been harbouring a surprising, secret obsession.
Carrie and I joke sometimes, like, hey, babe, 20 years ago, what if I had come up to you and said, we're going to be farmers?
No way?
Like, yeah, no.
Well, it is a world away from, stadiums full of screaming fans.
It is, and that's, I think, the beauty of it.
Feisty and fearless, with 60 million albums sold, at 43, Pink remains one of the most successful and hardest working singers of all time. I might get you to clap us in.
Absolutely.
Get this party started.
Are we ready?
Let's do it.
Okay.
New year,
New year, same
new
me.
album, new tour.
Yep.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
How is life for you at the moment?
Life is great because I ended dry January early.
Excellent call. Excellent decision.
My liver was bored. No, everything's really good. I'm married, still doing that. I have children. I'm engaged in the world. There's a lot going on there. And I am living. I feel like I'm living 50 lives all the time.
She's a rock star, a rebel, an icon, and an acrobat, all rolled into one. But Pink's priority has always been her family. She's mum to 11-year-old daughter Willow and 6-year-old son Jameson, and wife to motocross legend Kerry Hart.
I think it's a great balance between the two of us because he's this rock in the middle of the ocean and I'm just the murky waters around it. Like, if you want to go deep, come over here. You want to cuddle and have hard talks and all the hard stuff, just swim around with me. But if you want to take a break and you just want to be on the surface and you know where the rock is, the rock's not moving, you can rest on Papa.
What are your boundaries, or what are you tough on?
Boundaries is don't be a dick. That's my boundary, is you can be yourself and you don't have to be who I think you should be or who I want you to be or anything that I think. Be your own self, fly your own flag, but just don't be rude and care about others and take your plate to the sink. That's a boundary for me. But I'm trying to still tell Carrie where the trash is, so wish me luck.
The last few years have thrown up plenty of curveballs. Pink's 9th studio album was created in the chaos of COVID and some of the toughest times her family has been through.
Well, I started it out with a bang. We started it out with COVID in March of 2020, and that was awful. So Jameson and I had COVID, and he was sick for 10 weeks and really sick, and it was really scary.
That was early too.
It was a death sentence then. Nobody knew anything, and I have full-blown PTSD from it, and it really shaped the rest of the pandemic too for our family.
Any positives to come out of it?
Oh,
the
yeah.
Family time?
I remember being outside with Willow on a Saturday, and we were just kind of looking at nature. And I looked at her and I was like, what do you want to do? And she looked at me and she said, and I was like, oh, this is what peace feels like. Because normally our life is like the Star of David. We're just, and you tell yourself, I'm really going to hold on to this and we're going to be like this from now on, and then gone.
Bake bread and have family
I
time.
made so much bread, I turned into a sourdough.
In October 2021, there was another profoundly life-changing experience when Pink lost her father Jim following a long battle with cancer on what would have been his 76th birthday.
They tell you when you lose a parent, it's a suitcase that you'll be unpacking for the rest of your life. And I am unpacking it. But I'm also really happy for him that he's finally been released from his pain.
Her dad was a Vietnam veteran and strict disciplinarian. Not surprisingly, during Pink's rebellious teenage years, they didn't always see eye to eye. You came to a place of peace after he passed away, which obviously, takes time. But it must be special to have that memory and that video to look back on of you together.
Yeah, the first song I ever harmonized to was the song that we performed together, my dad and I. He wrote that song, and he played the hell out of a guitar. And we would sing and play together all the time. Yeah, it was hard in the end, but it's always hard. Mm. But I just have such good, fond memories of my dad.
How much do you think the last few years, what you've described, COVID, his death, have made you reassess how you live, priorities?
It just distills everything down and what's important, what matters, who am I, who do I want to be, and what's keeping me from getting there. And like, if the pendulum swings, here I am, this is what matters, this is what's important to me, and this is it for me. And then over here, it's like, well, if the world's ending and we're all sliding sideways off our axis, then fuck it, I want to dance. Let's party.
You keep coming up with something new and different. Your latest single is kind of a roller skating fantasy. Where did that come from?
I used to roller skate as a kid, and I was allowed to roller skate in the house because we had like terrible linoleum flooring. So now, I'm carrying on that tradition with my kids. We roller skate in the house, and we have nice wood flooring, which isn't nice anymore.
Yeah.
But it's so fun. When you're performing and your one goal is don't die, then you're onto something.
In typical ballsy style, Pink performed the entire song live at the American Music Awards last November in a roller skating masterclass that never missed a beat.
My whole goal was, I don't care how I sound, I don't care how I look, just not gonna die today.
That was gutsy doing that live.
Yeah.
And you didn't die.
I didn't die.
To say Pink is committed in everything she does is an understatement. A rock star with the death-defying rock moves, at her live shows she's part superstar, part superhero. You're flying upside down and you're swinging here, there and everywhere. How do you top that this time?
Great question.
What can we expect?
That's what we're figuring out right now. We're like, if we had a flying carpet with drones, do you think that's hackable? Like, could someone steal me? And then the answer was yes, they probably could. So I can't do that. And then I was like, can you get shot out of a cannon? And can you do it more than once? I spend so much time looking at like, what can you do more than once?
But as you'll see, there is another side to Pink, the perfectionist. One that's just about as far from the noise of the music world as it's possible to get.
It's an endless rabbit hole once you throw yourself down it. I just became kind of obsessed.
Everything Pink does is hands-on and full-on, and that includes her one big obsession away from the music world, making wine.
Such a wholesome kind of lifestyle.
Making alcohol?
Yeah, in a way.
I know, isn't it great? Then I'm not an alcoholic, it's research.
Right. Well, you need to do a lot of research. It's part of the job.
It's something she's done very much on the quiet. But over the last 5 years, through sheer hard work, she's gone from a student of the craft to an accomplished winemaker in her own right, for her label, Two Wolves.
Does everyone ask you if you make pink wine?
Yeah, no. You'll see that my rosé is actually white. Okay. I won't make a pink wine. That was too easy. Way to make me hate myself. It's so pink. Ugh.
Pink doesn't want to be regarded as another celebrity winemaker. She does it all, from picking the grapes to pruning the vines, even driving the forklift. Alicia Moore's winemaking alter ego is just as meticulous about the fine detail as Pink the performer.
It's an endless rabbit hole once you throw yourself down it. The more you know, the less you know, and I just became kind of obsessed. And then I started taking online courses, so I would be like, "Good night, Sydney!" And then I would set up my glasses and I would get ready for my tasting. And I just loved it. I loved being a student. I'm a high school dropout and I love being a student.
So it all started in Australia.
I think it did, yeah, because that was where I spent the most time. So I had the most days off. And I just fell in love. Welcome to the winery.
Thank you.
And this is where it all comes together.
We've got a bit of juice in here.
We've got a fair bit of wine.
The fruits of Pink's labour of love.
I'm going in here.
So this is Cab.
So this is Syrah. So this is like your Shiraz.
Shiraz.
But, yum. I'm the messy one in the winery.
So what are we looking for here?
To see if you like it.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I will.
I like it to be dirty. Cheers. I like it dirty, but yeah, dirty and light. Like me.
What is it about the process that appeals to you?
It's physical. It's labor intensive, but it's also kind of dicey because you're dealing with Mother Nature and it's never the same thing twice. It's just endless. To be out in the vineyard in January and February alone with a great album in your ears and a pair of shears, and you're just out there and you're making decisions that you know are going to affect something that somewhere in the world someone's going to be drinking 5-10 years from now, having an experience and making a memory. I think it's magic in a bottle.
For Pink, life has never been more fulfilling, and she wants her kids to experience every moment with her. Daughter Willow has not only performed a duet with her mum, but joined her in swinging from the rafters. Do you see her following in your footsteps?
No,
Would you like
and
to
thank
see her?
goodness.
No.
Not really. I mean, I'd be okay with it. I'd be okay with really anything, but that's not a true statement. People ask her, like, do you want to sing? She's like, oh, God, no. I'm like, why do you have to say it like that? Why? Is it embarrassed? I'm taking this personally, but she's theater. She's an actor, I think.
As for son Jameson, he's an unstoppable bundle of energy, just like his mum.
He just learned how to do that hoverboard thing, because Willow's been on that thing for years, but he just learned, so he gets naked and he gets on the hoverboard and does all these moves, and I'm like, this is so weird. I'm like, you don't do this outside the house, right, buddy?
This stays within the family unit. It's not hard to see why Pink is one of Australia's favourite artists of all time. Hers is a long-lasting love affair with us that undoubtedly goes both ways.
Last year, I was thinking about applying for citizenship. I'm not even joking.
You should. You're practically an Aussie.
I was like, if we're going somewhere, Carrie, we're going. He's like, yep, that's where we're going if we're going somewhere. So I was kind of looking into it.
Is there any chance you might come and visit us again soon?
In about a year.
So 2024,
Yes.
Pink tour.
Am I allowed to say that?
Yes.
You
I'm
just
allowed.
did. You're coming to Australia.
Yes, I'm coming back.
Fantastic.
I can't wait. I can't wait to get out of here.
Pink's last world tour was one of the biggest ever. 159 shows watched by more than 3 million people. Remarkably, her family was by her side for it all.
It's pretty much impossible being a mom and doing what I do. That's why there's not a lot that do it. But I've managed to route the tour around Willow, Jameson, and Carrie's needs. Willow's getting to an age now where it's tricky. I mean, we had this teary conversation where I said to her that I honor her childhood more than I honor my adult choices, and that if she wants me to, I'll walk away tomorrow if it's better for her. She's like, I don't want you to quit, Mama, don't quit. And then I'm tucking her into bed, and she pulls but when are you going to Amsterdam and Paris? And I was like, you little shit.
I don't be on that bit of the tour.
It's an emotional roller coaster.
But it's good to know that megastars still get some mum guilt.
Oh, constant mom guilt. Even when I'm nailing it, I'm failing.
Pink has been churning out the hits for more than 20 years, but there's no doubt she's still at the top of her game. A singer, songwriter, mum, and winemaker. This rock and roll rebel can't wait to raise the roof once more.
It's like at the end of the day when you've had just the shittiest day and you open up that wine and you turn the music up and it just all floats away. You're like a dolphin. It's just all off your back. And then all of a sudden you're in a leotard and it's up your crack and you've got the scrunch socks and the LA Gear sneakers and it's just on.
And do you love giving that feeling to other people as well?
Yes, that's what shows are for. Shows are like group counseling. It's like group therapy. We all come for the same exorcism.
Well, cheers to your secret life that you're living out here.
Thank you. It's not a secret anymore.
Hello, I'm Tara Brown. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minutes, segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.